So tell me about how this place came together.
This place came together, and exact years is going to be a bit of a problem, but some years ago, around the time when drink driving and all that was coming in, the footy club, as we were up on the hill, was very. We used to have Sunday functions, Friday night functions, and obviously your Saturday night functions, and it was a very vibrant, lots of activity. Wednesday night membership draws were always big.
At a packed house.
Packed house. The old club rooms up on the hill, we had many a good nights up there.
Packed nights.
Yes.
Wednesday nights, Friday nights, Saturday nights,
packed.
Sunday afternoons, bloody
packed.
And of course then it come a bit of a tough period where we had to make a decision of whether we were going to survive up there or move on. So what are your thoughts back there when we actually did make that decision to move on?
Yeah, well, everybody was disappointed that we had to leave the old club because of the terrific times and the great memories we had from all the club cabarets and the players' reviews and Wednesday night trading and all those terrific times, you know, back in the 70s and 80s. But we all, anybody that was on the committee that knew the financial problems we had, and we virtually had to move. And it was people like Ian Sellen and Tom and got together and they organised to move out here and build a building out here, and that's where we are today.
And then that...
Just prior to that time, I think there was a big move to try and go right alongside of the oval, about where the bowling club, which would have been terrific to have a club room there looking over the oval, but of course the council wouldn't allow that, and they canned that, so then they made a move.
Well, because they were very keen. At one stage, Centenary Oval was going to go.
Yeah.
Really?
So, oh yes, that was, and there was a few people that you know, started a bit of a thing and they stopped it,
but managing to go short, finding. I was going to say Corey Beer, but I think that's actually Jace Morgan.
It is, exactly right.
Morgan comes across his half-back line.
Oh, Marble Range out here.
Marshall. He keeps it going. It's a 2-on-2 contest. Pack flew, and Sampson brought it down, but Tasman's back with it. Jenner hand pass over the top to advantage. Looking for an option. Right foot snap and rolls all the way home. Tasman's 4 goals. And along to 4-3-27. Marble Range 2 straight 12.
but that was actually going to go. So, which would, you know, it was terrible for Lincoln.
Yeah. Oh, hell.
But yeah, that was sort of, and then the city, the city council CEO at the time, he wanted this as a sporting hub out here, so he was pushing for that.
Yep.
So that's, you know, sort of how we got here. So yeah.
Yes.
My favourite part, and I know this is the same with you, Rusty, the best part of the football is the beer afterwards.
It is. You're around Tasman's in the 60s and the 70s. Obviously, we're at the old club there. What are some of your memories of being there?
Up at the old club, some of my memories are climbing under the building and jacking up the floorboards so when we had a cabaret, people wouldn't fall through the floor. Yeah, and the players' reviews we used to have up there, the old times we used to print out a rooster review so people could get it, you know, information what's happening in the club.
Nah, it's good.
Yeah,
it's good.
And of course, you know, lots of turnover and everyone very happy. But as the years went on, obviously those functions fell away a bit because mainly around the drink driving thing, which is fair enough. But anyway, so then it was time to, you know, look at the future of, you know, whether we stay up there or what we do. So a group of us got together and we formed a committee and we looked at the possibilities of relocating. And at that time, the Hockey Association were, you know, operating out of a tin shed, and so we actually, now I'm a memory, I have to go, but I do believe we spoke to the Portland Football League first, but then we progressed further to speak to the Hockey Association, and we looked at the possibilities of building a complex at Ravendale, which would be the Tasman Football Club rooms, and also a joint venture with the Hockey Association. So that we started looking at grants and how we were going to do it, and we had a great committee that put in a lot of many hours of work to formulate it all. And
Who was on the committee?
so, from memory, Glenn Carruthers, Ian Sellen,
Yep.
Bob Millick, Graham Henderson.
So who owns it?
So back then, it was actually jointly owned by the Tasman Football Club and the Hockey Association. So part of the process was selling the old club rooms and rolling the funds of that into what we could here, and of course along with that was government grants and the like.
Paperwork.
Lots and lots of paperwork. There was.
Who did the paperwork?
Glenn Carruthers, I know he put in many hours, and yeah, there was quite a strong committee that was involved in that. Then away we went, and eventually the Port Lincoln Council took over the complex, and now basically the Tasman Football Club and the hockey lease it off of the Port Lincoln. Now, so I haven't been involved in it for a few years. I was on that original committee, but so the actual, exactly how it all pans out right now, I'm not 100% sure, but...
One last thing,
Yes?
because you've just done really great. Why does everyone hate Tasmans so?
Well, now this was, to me, this was a very frustrating part of the whole process of moving out here. Now I know for a fact that along the way, we spoke to the City Council, all the other footy clubs in town, and we let them know the whole time exactly what we were doing and what our plans were and everything. But every time we spoke to a club, it was like another club. It was like hitting our head against a brick wall, and it was like we were total enemy because we were wanting to have this complex out here. Now, once we got this facility up, one of the things that I considered was a great asset for here was the actual lighting, that we could play night games. And to me, I thought, that was a fantastic thing, not only for the football club, but for Port Lincoln Football League. But to get other clubs to play night games out here was just an absolutely, to that point, I don't know whether, I think there was a night game last year, but it's been very difficult to have night games out here. The other clubs just will not have it. And the funny thing is that the Waybacks Football Club used to play home games on the other oval over here, but they hate the place now. They don't like it. So
It's just
I don't know.
the Tasmans thing, isn't it?
It is.
And moving from the old club to the new, it's been a transition for all of us. You're one of the few that have sort of really embraced the new club. What's your sort of thoughts here?
It was a long transition because we went to the yacht club in between while this was being built. Unfortunately, it's not utilised as much as it should be now.
Which I tend to agree with.
But it's a future for Tasmans, hockey, netball, Ravendale complex, not only the club rooms, is the future, and it's the way it's got to go.
That's the way I can agree more. Like we're going to have big changes with netball coming on soon.
Yep.
I said I've got really fond of this place. I know in our original constitution it was our aim for an oval, which we now have.
With all this, what we've got out here now, and the influx of other sporting people in here, we might get a bigger sort of lump sum family.
And that will happen.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a netball football function or night here 4 weeks ago. We did 200 meals.
Wow.
That's
better.
That's more like it.
Yeah, that's what it is.
That's more like it.
That's where it's at.